Every Super Mario Odyssey Kingdom ranked. I'm sure everyone can unanimously agree that Cloud Kingdom is definitely the worst kingdom in Mario Odyssey. This kingdom basically only serves as a battle arena. And sure, the battle against Bowser is fun, but the moons in this kingdom, they're not fun. Okay, maybe they are fun, but there's just not enough moons. I dig the atmosphere, but this had so much more potential. Another kingdom with a lot of potential is Ruined Kingdom. Look at how realistic this dragon looks. By the way, this is Mario Odyssey. This is Mario Odyssey graphics. It's insane. If they made this kingdom bigger and have more moons, I would have put it out number 1 probably. But as it is, there's 4 moons and the boss is fun, but that's just about it. The amount of potential for this kingdom is just sad. It could have been so much more. Next is Dark Side. Some consider this not a kingdom, same with Darker Side, but I don't care, I say it is. But like Ruined Kingdom and Cloud Kingdom, this is basically a battle arena. And for a post-game kingdom, I get it, this is going to be lower in quality. But still, I don't want to have beaten the game and then get this. After beating all the things, after beating Bowser, I just get this kingdom. Thanks, Nintendo. I sure did want a big mashup of 4 of the Brutals and this one big Brutal boss. But the bosses are pretty good, especially the big Brutal boss fight. You know the one I'm talking about, the one with the Mecha Brutals. They also copy and pasted a bunch of sub-areas and then made them harder, which I guess is a good thing. But the sub-areas in Dark Side are so hard, especially the one with the bullet bill. Speaking of hard, Darker Side. Darker Side isn't too hard if you know the good cheats, but it can be hard if you're not using the cheats. If you don't know, there are 2 big skips that you can do. You can use a frog and do this glitch, and you can use Glide-On to fly over half of the level. It's pretty fun to do. And every time I complete Mario Odyssey and go on to Darker Side, I always do it. Anyways, this is honestly almost as hard as things like the Perfect Run or Champion's Road, if you're not trying to cheese it. And it's also pretty fun. It's basically you going and getting all the captures you once got in all the kingdoms. I like how you use all the captures to traverse this level. It's like a big mashup of all the kingdoms, but it is just one level, so it's not the best. One more thing I should add about it is I love the transitions of the music that happen when you get into a new area of the level. Anyways, next is Cap Kingdom. This is the very first kingdom in the game. And for the first kingdom, it's okay, I guess. I like the foggy atmosphere and music, and it makes it stand out much more than the other start levels in a bunch of other games, like Good Egg Galaxy or 1-1. It's much different than those. It's not just a generic grass world. And I must praise it for that, because it's actually unique. And I like all the little hat airships and all the hat houses. And this kingdom introduces some of the best captures in the game, like the frog, the Paragoomba. And this is where you fight the first boss of the game, Topper. Topper is one of the Brutals, and he can be pretty hard sometimes. But other than that, he just blends into all the other Brutals. But for the very first kingdom in the entire game, Cap Kingdom has a great presentation and is all around okay. Another okay kingdom is Snow Kingdom. Everyone can unanimously agree that this kingdom is very mediocre. But before I start ripping on this kingdom, I'll say some great things about it. I like the Bound Bowl Grand Prix and how it's like Mario Kart kind of, but different. I like how the Rango boss fight is on ice, so it makes it slipperier and harder. I like some of the sub-areas because they're kind of unique. And I like the atmosphere of Shiveria Town. But that's about all the good things I can say. Here are the bad things. This kingdom is very secluded. It's basically hidden among a bunch of icebergs, making it feel like you're trapped inside there. And for a game that's about not being trapped and being open world kind of, that's not great. Also, this kingdom is way too small. Snow kingdoms are supposed to be big in Mario games, and they're supposed to be fun. But this one misses the mark. Another kingdom that misses the mark is Bowser's Kingdom. I do not like this kingdom. Okay, maybe not entirely, but I just don't like it as much as other people do. This feels like a 2D platformer more than a 3D Mario, adventure. Here's how I would describe it. It's like a Super Mario 3D Land level, because it's slightly open, but it's also, I don't know how to describe it. It's yeah, I don't really know how to describe why I hate this one. Yeah, I don't really know how to describe why I dislike this one. But I'll just say I like Pokios. I like the atmosphere. I like the boss fights, especially the Robo Brood. I like the difficulty. And I like the moons. Some of the moons, actually. But yeah, sorry to all you Bowser's Kingdom fans, but I just don't love it. Next is Lost Kingdom. The potential for this kingdom too, it just can't go unnoticed. This is the game's Jungle Kingdom, and I am a sucker for Jungle Kingdoms, and this one's a pretty okay one. Flying around as Glydon is neat, and I like the controls for him. Same with those Wiggler things. And I like how the kingdom's surrounded by a bunch of purple goop. It's like an island. And this is one of the instances when I like how secluded it feels. There isn't a really big boss fight for this kingdom, but I guess you could say Klepto is. Yeah, that's right, they brought back Klepto from Mario 64. But he's really easy to defeat. And honestly, I wouldn't even consider him a boss. I like all the platforming you can do in this kingdom, though. Breaking through blocks with those beetle things. Ground pounding those staircase things. It's a decent little time. Speaking of decent, we have Lake Kingdom. We're gonna see a much better Water Kingdom further on the list, but for now we have to talk about this one. Water Kingdoms have not been liked in the Mario series, but this one I think actually does a good job. Traversing the water is made much easier with Cheep Cheeps. And I like those zipper capture things. Oh, and the music is just so beautiful. If I was studying for some homework thing, this is the music I would put on. It's so calm, and the music just fits with the water vibe so much. Oh, and speaking of the vibes, they're just so nice. This is one of the most relaxing kingdoms in the game. But like Snow Kingdom, it feels pretty secluded. And this is one of the instances where it's a bad thing. I want to love this kingdom more than I do, but I just can't. And it's too small, so I'm sorry, Lake Kingdom. Next is the second kingdom in the game, Cascade Kingdom. For some reason in 2017, Nintendo loved to just showcase this kingdom in the advertising, and Metro Kingdom, but why this one? They tried to advertise it as the first kingdom even though it wasn't. But whatever, I like the captures in this kingdom. They're a big step up from Cap Kingdom. You've got the Chain Chomps, that big dinosaur. Oh, and speaking of that dinosaur, it is so fun to just go around and wreck things. I just love wrecking stuff in Mario games. And honestly, I don't even know why. Like most kingdoms, the moons are good, the platforming is fun, and the music is just great. This is up there with Jump Up Superstar. After hopping out of the Odyssey and stepping foot on this kingdom and hearing the beautiful music, it's just something else. But the kingdom is too small. A kingdom that's not small, though, is Moon Kingdom. I think people are blindsided by nostalgia when they play this kingdom, because it's basically Mario Galaxy put into a Mario Odyssey kingdom. And yeah, it works for what it is. The moons are pretty fun, and I like how this whole area is kind of a throwback to Galaxy. And the wedding between Peach and Bowser is really fun to watch, and how you crash through the door and begin your fight with Bowser. Oh, and don't even get me started on the Moon Cavern. This is basically Darker Side, but not as hard. Because you're basically getting all the captures you previously got in the game, bullet bills, wigglers, everything. And at the end, you fight Madame Brood. You get to fight the easiest boss in the game at the end. Wow, how anticlimactic. They could have very well made a unique boss for this kingdom, but I guess Bowser is the unique boss. A kingdom with another unique boss is Luncheon Kingdom. Yeah, I love Cookatiel. She's just so plump and funny. And I love when she gets third-degree burns when she falls into the big boiling pot of soup. I wish there was a post-game mood where you could go into the soup bowl after you beat Cookatiel and just see Cookatiel turned into like a piece of fried chicken. That would be funny. But also kind of weird and unsettling, so whatever. People like to hate on this kingdom, but I just don't understand why. It's so unique, and it's like you can't even tell that it's a lava kingdom. Which, in fact, it is. Which makes me love it even more. I love those big polygonal rocks. For some reason, they just add so much to the atmosphere. So yeah, here's a message for you, all of you Luncheon Kingdom haters. Why would you hate Luncheon Kingdom? It's just so unique. This is a kingdom I love to look forward to when I replay Odyssey. Next is Mushroom Kingdom. A wave of nostalgia just came over me when I first came into this kingdom. So you know how I said that Moon Kingdom was basically Mario Galaxy? Well, this is basically Mario 64. And I love it for that. All of the moons are throwbacks to Mario 64 and a bunch of other Mario games. And I like how in this kingdom you can just go back and defeat every boss in the game. And there's even Peach's Castle in this kingdom. And it plays the Peach's Castle theme from Mario 64. And this is where Toadette will give you those Toadette moons. And yeah, I dislike these moons because you have to get them one at a time and it makes it really hard and it's really slow to get the moons. You'll understand if you've played Odyssey before. This kingdom was good for what it was. It couldn't have been any more, but I feel like because it couldn't have been much more, it's just okay. Maybe better than okay, in fact. Next is Wooded Kingdom. These last 4 kingdoms were so hard to decide because I love all 4 of them. But I'm sorry, Wooded Kingdom, you're going in 4th place. But don't get me wrong, I still love this kingdom. I like how it's a mix between kind of like a futuristic area, but also like a forest area. And I love the uproot captures. They're definitely one of the most useful and iconic captures in all of Mario Odyssey. Same with the Sherms. They're basically tanks and they're really fun to use. Torque Drift is a decent boss, not too bad, not too good. So yeah, I don't really have anything bad to say about this kingdom. But one of my favorite parts of this kingdom is definitely the music. I don't know why, I just love the music, and I know I'm not the only one that thinks that. But now, we're moving on to the final 3 kingdoms in this ranking. Getting bronze is gonna be Seaside Kingdom. This is what Lake Kingdom wanted to be. It's like the older brother of Lake Kingdom. It's got the cheap, it's got the water, but it also has the Gushins, the beaches, the resort, that big like glass of water, and it has its own unique boss. That one French octopus that I don't want to pronounce the name of because the name is impossible to pronounce. And I like how you have to go and get all these 4 moons before you get to go and fight the octopus guy. So you can't just jump into the fight immediately when getting into the kingdom. And this kingdom has a perfect variety of things. The beach, the water, the resort with that volleyball guy that is impossible to defeat. And like Lake Kingdom, I absolutely love the music. The Bub Lane theme is just so relaxing and peaceful. I listen to this when I'm on road trips and I want to fall asleep. And number 2 is Sand Kingdom. This used to be my favorite kingdom, but I had a change of heart. This is by far the biggest kingdom in the entire game. But because it's big, it's obviously going to have a lot of empty space, which is my only problem with this kingdom. It by far has one of the best bosses in the game with Knuckletalk. And Knuckletalk is probably the hardest boss in the game, or one of the hardest bosses. And the sub-areas are great, including this one shown on screen with the Jaxie where you have to go around on poison. And it introduces some great captures such as the Bullet Bill, the Moai, and even Lakitu at that oasis. And Toast Arena Town is so good. The vibes are awesome. The Mexican music and all the Mexican culture put into this is just cool. And I like how the sand is orange instead of yellow like in most games. Now we've got to go to number 1, Metro Kingdom. There's a reason they showed this kingdom off so much in the trailers. This is basically GTA 5 in a Mario game. That sounds weird at first, but it kind of is. You can go around driving a car and smash into other cars and smash into other people. The story in this kingdom is great, with literal Pauline from the very first Mario game. Her revival was just so great. But I guess her revival came back in those stupid Mario vs. Donkey Kong games on the DS and 3DS. And I love Pauline, she's just such a good character and definitely the best of the female Mario characters. And her performance with Jump Up Superstar, it's just amazing, and the song is amazing too. One of the best Nintendo songs ever. Everything about this kingdom is just amazing. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I may or may not post more of these long-form videos, I don't know, they're kind of a lot of work to make. Thanks for watching!